Hey you guys, what's going on? So I'm starting a new YouTube series here where I'm going to be actually playing against bots. And so with this one, it's really well suited to have a discussion and everything. And so if you're in the chat, then you're welcome to participate and suggest moves, and we can sort of just talk it out. I'll be playing a slower time control, which will further allow for that to happen. And then afterwards, we're also going to do a game report analysis of it. So come and join in during the live stream and have some fun with it. Or if you're watching on the YouTube channel, then hope you learned something or two out of the video here as well. All right, let's go back into the game. Here we are, playing against the ever-feared Lorenzo. And I can also mess with this stuff a little bit. So if I go like this and then inspect, check this out. I'm a turtle from Antarctica. See? All sorts of nonsense. These bots, they say some weird things, tell you that much. Weird things. So the choice here is do we go with a move such as pawn to c6, kind of preemptively guarding against this stuff, or do we seize the moment with this rare window of time where we can go here, thus attacking the bishop, and then the bishop can't really run away, so we're going to be able to win the bishop for a knight. It's a little bit risky because then he could play something like this, knight into c6, but I suppose then we could grab here, and then if he follows up with this, we would have ample time to run away, for example, right here, and I think we can survive the loss of this. All right, hopefully that wasn't a miscalculation. I've only got 9 minutes on my clock, so I'm going to go ahead and play it. And he goes there. What on earth? What was he thinking? What was he thinking with his g4 move? All right, bonk. Take that guy. What? He didn't grab back. He didn't grab his back. All right, free piece. I like free pieces. I'm going to slide this guy back. I chose this square, as opposed to this one because the knight is now guarding c7. And so that's going to preemptively guard this knight attacking right here. So now this is defended. We can move a little bit more freely. We could grab this way, although after knight takes back, if then we follow up with queen takes, then he could take this, knight takes, rook takes, and then, oh, you know what though? We'd have a nice little tactic. We can then go queen to a5 check and pick up the rook. Cool. I think that'll work. Let's do it. You know what, though? This isn't necessarily a free pawn because this rook can come over here and launch an attack this way. So maybe we should just play it safe and go here, which is too bad because I was quite proud of that little fancy tactic there. We're up by 2 points. So my strategy in this type of situation is just to look for trades and just do them almost blindly. Just mindlessly trade pieces off when you can. We're going to kick that off by going right over here, and then now we're threatening a trade. He goes ahead and goes for it. Now we'll take here. And he goes right there, aiming to win this pawn. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Now I don't have to actually take back right here. I could just move the knight up, and then the knight has some chance of maybe getting it into f3. And then if he takes our pawn here, we could go takes with the bishop, and we're now controlling this very long diagonal and activating it as such. So I think I'll go with that. I like this move. See if he grabs. He doesn't. He goes pawn to c7. So this pawn has some hopes and dreams maybe getting to the edge of the board, but he's quite a ways away from that. So not too much to worry about there. However, we can no longer go rook to d8. So it seems like a sensible way to go about it. Bishop here to g4, though, hits the queen and then also supports our next advance of knight to f3. Then we're going to go ahead and play that. And then he's going to go there. He's going to go to e2. Well, I like this. This is a good move for him. Guarding this f3 square, since now there's 2 attackers and only 1 defender if I move my knight there. So that won't work out so well for us. If we, let's see here. I guess we have to do something about that. He's also kind of threatening this move, rook here to g1. Have to be a little bit mindful of that as well. If we go right here, and then he goes queen takes, perhaps we could go queen to g2, invading in the king side here, attacking the rook, and also threatening knight to f3, which would force the win of the queen. So that'd be really, really great. I think then if we take, he has to go with king takes, and then we could follow that up by maybe going like queen to g4 check. The king can no longer castle, and we're kind of invading that territory. Let's go ahead and play that. He's going to go there. Alrighty, well, unless I'm missing something, I think that this is going to be pretty strong. Okay, I guess if I go here, the rook can come over, and then after here check, this knight can come there. I mean, this king can come there. So then, you know, the king's still pretty weak on that spot, though. I think I could maybe follow it up with queen to d5 at some point, if I can get my knight out of the way. And I don't want to get too careless with this pawn on c7. It could certainly become a queen if we're not vigilant about it. Well, what should we do? What should we do here? We could go we can go for this. We could also just go rook over. He can't really do a whole lot while he's waiting, so this seems all right. Let's go here. We'll slow our roll. Okay, so here fork. Okay, so this looks like a really bad news for us. Looks like we have to lose a piece, but we can happily just slide over here and say check, thus giving us enough time to also move the knight on the next turn. Okay, so he goes right there, and then boy, Alberto, it is very tempting to like sacrifice the rook. Could that work? There takes. King goes over here to maybe c2. Now I think he would slip away into cover. We cannot afford that. All right, and then he has made a comment, so we're going to go ahead, say something ridiculous for him. What's something ridiculous we could say? Sometimes I like to eat rare birds. Huh, that's really kind of upsetting. If they're extinct, then you're gonna make them more extinct. Wouldn't recommend that. I do what I want. All right, he's sassy. He's a sassy bot. Let's see. So now if we go for I don't know, I guess we just had to move our knight. So let's go here then. We're going to cut off the other rook from attacking. And so now we can take here on c7. Now we're up by 3 points. He does find some cover eventually by going over there. And so then we're just going to go ahead and double our rooks. And then we've also essentially gotten out of this pin, since before if we move the knight, we'd lose this rook. All right, so rook f to d1. Okie dokie artichoke. What do we do? Well, we can move our queen maybe like this, so it's kind of more in the battle. Or also queen to e7. Not really any threats on the board, so we don't have to think too hard about this position. Rook comes down here to c4. I like that move for him. And let's see if we can scare that rook away. If we go here, I suppose this is not possible because of here, right? So let's play this. See where that rook is intending on going to next. He goes to c2. Excuse me. Well, after this c2 move, we could play here, but that would hang the knight. We can't do that. We can go like this, creating a pin, and then we could follow that up in a second. I think I like this move, knight to b4. So we're hitting the rook, and then now if the queen takes, then we win this guy, of course. So he's probably going to have to go and take our rook. After which, maybe we go queen takes, and we are looking good here. We're looking good. Looking at playing like here, queen to c2 next with a possible checkmate. So we'll go here, pre-move this. He does take there. Alrighty. Well, we could trade away queens, win in the endgame. But we do have some attacking prospects. So we could go like here, for example, And then we're threatening mate. Pawn to a3, I believe, would be forced at that point. Knight to c2, instigating this possible sacrifice. And we take here on a3. That's looking pretty decent. I do kind of like that. Or we could just play it safe. And like I said, just go for this check. And then take back maybe with the knight. Got to prevent some sort of back rank thing later. We can't take with the rook, for example. We get mated. What should we do? What should we do? Maybe we will kind of prevent that mate stuff. Let's go here. If we go here, then he goes a3, right? We go knight c2. Attacking here, maybe he goes rook here to d3. Then our knight's a little bit out of play. We can go b4. Yeah, that should work. All right, so while we do this, we just got to be a little careful that we don't drop like back rank mate stuff. So we'll play this way. And this is okay. This is okay because if takes, rook takes, our queen still guards d8 from that rook there. Interesting choice. Nah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, so now this is a possible mate. Got to be mindful of that, of course. I guess we're just going to make a sacrifice, trade off a bunch of stuff. Here, we'll grab this way. We can't take immediately. We get mated on c8. Now we go here, check. And he goes for the trade. Okay. Do we accept the trade now? Probably. Probably makes sense. Go there, and then these two pawns should support each other. Yeah, that seems like the clearest path to victory. We don't want to go here because then he gets a protected passer. So we're just gonna slither our way in there with our queen, our king, I think. And this should be kind of a walk in the park. We'll go like this. Then if he attacks our pawn, we're gonna be just defending it here. And then notice if the king comes to a5, he's not truly threatening this pawn, since if he were to do so, we'd go pawn to b4 and run the guy up the board this way. So that would be no good for him. So we can just go this way. Maybe you'll go for check. Okay, so then we play here. And we can now force the advance of this pawn here. We could also be really annoying about this and play something like g6, when then he can't play with any of these pawns here, and that's going to leave him in a bit of a funk. I suppose pawn to h5 would be expected there. And then we could just maybe go king c4. So then if takes, it'll run out of moves. Yep, let's do that. More than one way to win this game. We're gonna win it like this. All right, so then here takes, and he's running out of stuff. He takes, now we push this. This isn't quite pre-move territory, because if he plays f5, we need to be ready to recapture it. Okay, and then now we'll promote. Threatening mate. He's going to try to run away. But it's not going to work so good. Not going to work, because now we have mate here. We can also do mate this way or this way. Queen b4. Checkmate. Game over. All right, so this is a bit of a sample. Let's go like this. All right, so that was a bit of a sample. I stomped the Lorenzo, the Zorro-looking character, and hope you guys found that instructional and everything. And I'm going to take a quick look at it with the game report, and then we'll call this one a wrap, and then I'll be playing some more Blitz Chess tonight. Okay, let's take a look. Over here to game report. And let's see where Lorenzo maybe could have improved, I guess. Ooh, that design looks good. Ooh, that looks so nice. Okay, so he goes right here. And this was all fine so far, just opening theory. No problemo here. He basically made one critical mistake, right? After going here, both sides are just developing their pieces, you know? Hey, thanks, Nightmare. New follower. Glad to hear. After this here, knight comes here to h5, and the computer actually doesn't like this move so much. So I went back and forth a little bit on whether or not I wanted to play this. Let's see maybe why it doesn't like it so much. It says here, oh, I missed something obvious. All right, so see if you can figure it out. Take a quick second if you need to get this one. Knight d5. Yikes. All right, so winning a new pawn now, and then, of course, I can still do this, but he takes back here. So that's why that was no good. All righty. Well, in the game then. After going right here, I luck out and doesn't see it. So the move here instead looks like was pawn to c6, which was the move I was considering, although I was worried that he would just go pawn to h3, and it does look like that's his top move by a wide margin. He goes right here, pawn to h3, and then now I can't really do this anymore. Let me just double check also, if he doesn't go h3, is that my best move? His second best is go knight to d2. Wow, okay, so bishop d3, and then yes, now knight to h5. Okay, so I was in the ballpark. Looks like it was fitting to try to go for this, but it was the wrong timing to do so. I'm curious though, after pawn to h3, how is black supposed to continue here? I suppose just with regular moves like this. Now bishop to d3. Let's check the openings database here too. We see anything here? Knight to f8. Okay. Castles. And then we have knight to g6. Okay, so kind of little maneuver here, mobilize our guys. So a little bit too eager to trade those guys off. After right here, now he's going to go, he went pawn to g4. So a big blunder on my part, and then immediately return with an even bigger mistake. G4 is just no good because now he's broken up his pawn shield, and these guys are getting weak. And then he makes a massive, massive blunder and doesn't recapture that knight. And so from here, it was sort of a walk in the park. After this, now knight takes on d5. And then we go here, pawn to c6. And at this point, we're just kind of trading off pieces, and it's a matter of technique. And you can sort of just rewatch the video if you like to sort of learn how you go about winning such a position. We're just looking for, chances to simplify and everything. But I think I'm going to call it here, and be curious to know if you guys like this stuff and you want to see more of it. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and play some Blitz Chess. So subscribe and follow, and come check me out on the live stream.